did that have to do with the fact that we did start to group a little differently in the past couple of years?
In reading, observed steady performance over the past 5 years in the cohort of students over time, and also just the instruction as a percent of student proficient distinctions upward as well overall.
And I think, I'm feeling there's an overall improvement in that. If I go back to the last 5 years and really look at that, there's definitely an increase in percent of students scoring proficient with distinction. I'll be happy to say that Lawn was third of all middle schools in math and third of all middle schools in the state in reading this year. And I think that's pretty darn good. And I'm proud for that.
Terrific. Congratulations. Who's first? Middle, Barrington?
Come on. Barrington. But the thing was, it was different. We did it was on tape, but we did beat East Greenwich in math. Okay, and if I want to talk about the math, it actually went Barrington, Block Island, which is a very small cohort, and then it was Lawn and the 2 middle schools in South Kingstown. So we were tied for third. But I thought that was really good.
Yes.
Well, Block Island, that's kind of an anomaly because it's a small number, so it's going to fluctuate. So I can't not.
You might have 3 kids in the grade level.
Right. But in reading, it again did go Barrington, East Greenwich.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but it's not that I'm not competitive or anything, but I'd like
But
to
being a former cheerleader.
get there.
For a kneecap.
So, after analyzing the data, we kind of came up with 3 improvement action steps.
With
I'll
reading-
disclose, even
okay.
though I'm on tape, but I was kind of reflecting and thinking, gosh, if 96% of our students can be proficient in distinction in 7th grade, why same cohort in third. So then when I spoke with Kathy and Marcia, thinking that we need to and will have professional development focus on strengthening our K-2 literacy, because I think they're capable. We're seeing that. I mean, you always go with the fact that kids over time seem to do well with us. So it could be, so I'm going to put a focus and emphasis there.
And you have had a turnover in 1 and 2. You had people that were trained in literacy deeply who have now retired and left. And that's, so I think it's fair to say that the K through 2 needs to be looked at in a focused manner for the professional development because of that. And then
So increase the use of technology-based reading.
interventions, which we're purchasing
That
through the
program
ARA money.
Lexia.
Read about with Scholastic, so we're able to, and we are approved in that, so we're going to be purchasing those, and I think that's motivating too, because you've got an easy way to have the kids get on the computer, see where they are, and do that more frequently to get a quick assessment. So that's something we need to do.
And is that for any kid who's struggling a little bit with reading? It's not just a special.
Any child, not even not
Right.
struggling, any child even to monitor and see if they want improvement. So
I provided training, well, we did, but there was coming from Melrose for Lexia, the woman, Dr. Welch, was really promoting and pushing all kids should, use the Lexia. So we're experimenting with that this year, and so it kind of said, 2nd grade was all going to get on this, but the high-level readers, So we said it, and then
it's
so then
Lexia is
there's
more
a
for an
home
intervention
component,
struggle.
and the kids like it because they feel kind of like they're playing, and so we gave those children the online pass where they can do it at home for fun, but they don't really need it. But these are research-based programs, and they say after so many hours and 70 hours, they can be fluent in reading. So integrating it, having a balanced literacy.
But
The more you read, the better you get.
But I interject here too with, we really have to keep focusing on critical thinking skills and analysis with reading. That's really important. And that's important all the way down, that we have to look at a deeper level of not just the who, what, where kinds of questions, to be really getting kids to be doing more literature circles in the classroom, having them really delve deeper in their responses to literature. So that's a focus that we want to do, and that certainly ties into our strategic plan with them.
And for math, we'll continue.
Love our Dana Center work,
Yes,
we're always
has it been
telling you that. Excellent PD.
Yes.
Excellent PD. Yep, really good.
For 3 years, and we're bringing, as we have talked about in the principal reports, we've had walkthroughs, and both of us this week have done followed a protocol. We go back on Tuesday, and I believe what they haven't shared with us, you know, it was a 3-year PD commitment, so I projecting that they're going to come to the district and
There's their training, what they call as coaches that will go out to the districts and will do some work with us. Because what it is now is, as you know, we only could start with 4, they only gave us 4 people and it had to be 2 principals. We need to spread the work, but I think we are, because we did take them back to structured conversation at grade level and said, okay, here's the data from these 39 4-minute walks. What do you see? We had it all compiled. And they right away went into, and then they made a month action plan, what they're going to do in the next month in an area that they thought, oh, there's something we can do about here that might help. So that's what the Dana Center work is really about, is that collect the data, analyze the data, reflect on it, but act on it. That's
It's
the
called
piece
CARA.
we always
CARA
forget
is the acronym
is,
for
yeah, we do the first 3, but if you don't have a short term, and it can't be too big either, you gotta something specific that you can then look at, because then you feel better.
Yeah.
So I love, it seems simple, but it seems like it's the piece that's often missed, is that last piece. Are we gonna act on it?
right.
You know?
The talk was great, but
Right. We're gonna do it tomorrow morning.
so yeah, so for math, we want them to do. So we're, you know, just continue to provide children with a guaranteed and viable curriculum at K-8, and the everyday mathematics is.
And I think that the real focus of talking over their lessons after teachers having that time to analyze what's going well, that's the guaranteed Bible. You don't want it to be in one classroom, it's going to be in all classrooms.
That's the guaranteed part, right? That all the students are
That's
getting
right.
the same
That's right.
delivered
Right.
instruction, not
It has
just what
to
you
be
think.
viable and tied to standards.
What is the viable?
Meaning
Meaning,
it's
exactly.
is tied to the grade level expectations or the
okay.
standards of a state, that it's a viable curriculum, teaching what it is supposed to be teaching, but it's going to guarantee to be happening
Right.
in all classrooms.
And the DEP,
That's the part that NK is really
does,
struggling with at the high school.
charge
It's a
us,
struggle. Yeah.
the DEP charges us with
Yeah.
fidelity to the curriculum.
And that you
That's
have
right.
to
So
be
that
assessing whether
everybody,
you're
that we've
delivering.
got it
Yes.
articulated, but that
Yes.
everybody's teaching it,
Yes.
and not,
It's
going
great to
off
have it
on
on.
tangents or
Right.
creating things that take them away from that. You could do it in addition if you accomplish all the required pieces, but we need to be able to tell parents, this is the curriculum, and this is the guarantee, your child will be taught this curriculum. And that will be all of our jobs to make sure that we stay true to it.
Part of that BEP presentation that I went to Monday night was definitely discussing that, and the districts have to be able to show that they are monitoring that and ensuring that that is occurring, that there can't be a failure of the delivery aspect. Just having the
That's
curriculum in the binders and
DEP.
stuff is not,
It's right, it's not good enough.
you know.
I think that probably will be it, and if it's not, I would recommend that we put it in as part of the evaluation.
Right.
Is the teacher, true to the curriculum?
The last action plan is just to continue to increase the number of solving opportunities. That increases the number of opportunities for children to write and to talk about how to
To understand their
So
mathematics, to be
that-
able to use it.
that would that will definitely improve.
All right.
And that's it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I think as Marcia says, it's the hardest now, as you get to this point, you've
Right.
got to get to,
Right.
it's the hardest to keep those kids that are really
But I
have a
think
hard time.
when
and,
teachers can see that I worked hard and I changed these things, and then the data comes back and it
And it
shows
shows
this
it.
made a
Right.
difference.
Right.
Wow,
It's
look
very
at what that
reinforcing.
did.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
data is very powerful.